Well, this weekend, the wait is over as Lazarus, our champion New Zealand pacer, has his first start in the US. It's in Indiana, of all places. His connections have paid a $25,000 fee to get him into the Dan Patch, now worth $325,000. That race coming to you live on trackside in the early part of the afternoon, around 1:50. It's planned to go on Saturday afternoon. The man responsible for the drive behind our champion pacer Lazarus is Yannick Gingras, and Yannick joins us from the United States. Yannick, firstly, congratulations on winning another Hambletonian Oaks on the weekend, and a belated happy birthday to you as you get ready to take the reins behind our champ.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was definitely Saturday U.S. time was definitely a good day, and Hamiltonian Oak obviously is a special race for us here. So, yeah, and as far as Lazarus, definitely very excited for his first start on Friday.
Yeah, Nick, on Saturday you not only drove the winner of the Hambletonian Oaks for the 5th consecutive year, you did drive in the Sam McKee Memorial, which was the major free-for-all pace on the day. You finished 3rd on Filibuster Hanover. The two horses in front of you are rated two of the better horses in the US in the free-for-all grade at the moment. From what you have felt behind Lazarus the week before, comparing him to Filibuster Hanover and the horses in the Sam McKee, where do you think Lazarus stands at the moment, Yannick?
Oh, well, I think he's right there with them. You know, it definitely is it's a tough task, no doubt about it. I think the expectations should be maybe a little bit tempered down as far as his first start. You know, it is only the horse's first start of the year. He had, here in the United States, he had one qualifier. He's going against the best horses that have already had 8 to 10 starts. So it's not going to be easy, but I feel the horse is ready for a big performance, and I think he's the horse to beat. But I think maybe in 2 or 3 starts, it won't matter how bad I can drive him. I think he might be the horse to beat. But for now, maybe I need to drive him good to win the race.
Okay, talk about the way you did drive him. In the qualifier, he got off the gate quite quickly. Yannick, did he actually crossfire there? Because he seemed to get off the gate very quickly from the inside, then almost have a half misstep, and then you took the trail behind Lazarus.
Actually, we did leave the gate quite hard with him because there was a little concern with with Jimmy and the owners as far as he could leave the gate here in the United States, and it was no worries at all. He's totally fine with that. It wasn't he did have a misstep there just going into the turn, but it really wasn't his fault. The ladder up got really, really close to him, and I just grabbed him up just to make sure that I wasn't going to get run into. But then he was perfect to drive after that, and he's a beautiful horse.
Yannick, often when New Zealand horses head to North America, we do have that concern about the gate speed, or whether they have the raw speed to beat horses like Mick Wickett, who could well be in the Dan Patch this Friday night your time. Does Lazarus feel like he has the speed to beat horses like that?
Oh, absolutely. No doubt in my mind. That's not a concern for me. Like, a lot of time I feel like the horse from down under, they come here, and like, as much as they're good horses there, it doesn't sometimes translate here. Sometimes we find them to be like really on the bit, and they won't relax when they come here. But Lazarus is such a smart horse. Like, I left with him, and he sat in the hole very nice and kind. And when I called on him, he responded. And every time I asked him, he gave me some more. So, and as far as speed, I think he's got plenty of speed. It's not one bit of my worry. I think. Hoosier Park is a little bit of a different track than the Meadowland or Lexington. It's not quite as fast as those tracks, but I do feel that if his first race came Hamiltonian Day this past Saturday, there's no doubt in my mind that Lazarus would have gone at least 147 and change, no problem.
Okay, you mentioned times. He did go 148.6, as New Zealanders would call it, or 148.3, as the North Americans would call it, when he was in that qualifying trial at the Meadowlands. How much quicker can he go? Does he give you the feel? Because 147 is the best time in the US this season. Can he make that transition down for that next 1.5 seconds, Yannick?
I believe so. From what I heard from him, I'm a very good friend with Andrew McCarthy, and he told me, like, I've watched a lot of replay of Lazarus, but he was in races with him in Australia. Andrew was, and he said, like, when you kick the ear plug, he just hits another gear, and then he's one of those horses that he just always gives you more every time you ask him. And in a qualifier, 148.3 here. Like, I didn't even kick the air plug. I didn't even ask him. I just, kept keeping him to his task, but never once that I really say, let's go, and then so I think he's got at least 2 more gears from here, so there's no doubt in my mind that with the right condition, obviously, and a lot of things have to go the right way, but he will have no problem go 147.
Okay, the horses this week he's up against, we know Mick Wicked, he ran second in the Sam McKee, and even though he's an older horse, he's had an outstanding career. How strong will the field for the Dan Patch be compared with, Yannick, the best free-for-allers in the US?
Well, there'll be about all the best one there. I don't think Western Joe will be there from what I know. I know he's not eligible to the race, so they could put $25,000 like, they are doing with Lazarus, but I didn't hear anything about them doing it. But after that, all the best one will be there. Mick Wicked and Rocking Ron from the Ronberg stable and all that stuff will be there. And it will be a strong field, no doubt. So it will not be an easy first start for him, that's for sure, but I feel like he's ready.
Okay, Hoosier Park is not a track we see a lot of in New Zealand. It seems to be a track that races fear. There's no great percentage advantage in barriers 1 to 5. What sort of track is it to drive on, Yannick, and what can we expect the type of race to be for the Dan Patch on Saturday afternoon our time?
Well, it's a track that most of the time, it always can change, but most of the time it's a fair track, I feel. It's like you can win on the front or you can also win from behind. But there is some racetrack that is only speed favoring. But Hoosier Park has a very long stretch finishing. It's like maybe the longest stretch last quarter that we have here. It's at least a quarter of a mile in the straightaway finishing. So, you can race from behind. You don't have to be on the front. And as far as the speed as it's going to go, like I said, it's not the fastest racetrack that we have here in the United States. But I think if any horse in that race go a mile in like 148 flat, I think they will be they'll be really hard to beat. I don't see the race go below 148 flat. I think 48-2, 48-3 U.S. time, which would be 48-4, 48-6 down under time. I think that should be enough to get the job done.
Obviously, in New Zealand, Yannick, everybody is hoping and some people expecting Lazarus to win. What's your actual expectation? You did say to temper things a little bit. It's his first start in the free-for-all grade over there. What do you actually think is going to happen on Friday night your time?
Honestly, personally, I want to win every race I'm in, so I hope the horse comes out and puts a big performance and win the race. And I think he can, and I'll go as far as say as long as he has a good post, he will. But, you never know as far as post position draw. He could have a bad draw. A lot of things can happen. So, but as far as the season goes, I think as long as everything stays good and he stays healthy, I think he could be the best free-for-all that we have here. And no doubt in my mind, I think it's a strong group of free-for-alls, but I don't think there's a superstar like always be Mickey or those type, So I think it's not the strongest group of free-for-alls that we've had of open horses, but there's definitely a lot of very high-quality horses.
Yannick, you're the leading driver at the Meadowlands. You're just coming off the back of a huge day on Saturday at the Hambletonian. Is this a different type of excitement for you because it's a little bit of a trip into the unknown? You've been given the best horse from another country. Is Friday night for you going to be something different from the usual big race nights?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, growing up, you always dream of being asked to drive the best horses. You always dream of, when there's a new horse that's being purchased or a new horse that just show up on the line, or unfortunately sometimes somebody else get taken off. You want to get those drive of the new horses, the hot horses and stuff like that. So growing up, that's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping for. So now you get the best horse from another country, another hemisphere, that comes in. And you're asked to drive, there's no doubt it's very, very special. Anybody would have loved to drive the horse. The whole United States, as much as you guys are excited to watch him race, believe me, the excitement may not be quite as strong in the United States as it is in Down Under, but it's quite there. A lot of people are talking about it, and being asked to drive him and being able to sit behind him is definitely something I'm very much looking forward to.
Yannick, thank you for joining us here on Trackside Television in New Zealand. So many of us in Australasia are going to be sitting in that car alongside you on Friday night your time. Good luck with our champion pacer Lazarus in the Dan Patch.
Thank you very much.